Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're Jameson with Games. Happy Thursday, folks. Here we are, joined by Abra. Abra, hey. You don't want to say hello to the people? Oh, well. She used to be... It's weird. She hasn't become less chatty in any way. She's a very, very vocal cat. But she used to... I used to be able to get her to basically speak on command to... Well, I've annoyed her. She's leaving. I guess she's like, all right, no, I'm not here to be put on display for anybody who can't give me a brush. Oh, my. That pothole on our street that many 18-wheelers drive down every day is not great. Well, here we are. Stop me if you've heard this refrain before. I was hoping to do a very long session today on the last Thursday of my vacation, but it's not going to work out that way. I have a hard stop. We have 2 hours and 56 minutes to play Ultima 7, Part 2, Serpent. So, let's cut the ado and get to the doing. The story so far is that the Avatar and his trusty companions, Dupre, Elo, and Shimino, not his trusty companion Jeffrey, who has a very sad character arc in the Ultima universe. Jeffrey in hold on. There we go. Just wanted some kind of pause here. Jeffrey in Ultima 4 is maybe the most characterized of the Avatar's companions, because like none of them have much of a personality. They have like a couple lines of dialogue before they join you, and then they're just with you. But Jeffrey's, you talk to him, and it's like you see a 6'5", like he's a big dude, and then he talks about how he wants to fight in the battles again, and if you say battles, then he has more dialogue about how much he loves fighting. He's all excited to join you, and then hail British, and then Jeffrey's reward for helping the Avatar become the Avatar in Ultima 4 Quest of the Avatar is that he's promoted to be the head of Lord British's castle guard, and he never gets to go on adventures or have battles anymore. By the last time we saw him in Ultima Underworld 2, he was a very glum fellow, partially because of the voice I chose to use to read all his dialogue in, but also his portrait was very like, this, how did it come to this? But the companions the Avatar really cares about, Elo, Dupre, and Shimino, have joined him in traveling to the Serpent, a land that was long ago colonized. Oh, it's nighttime, British, and Ultima 7 reflects the lighting effects even attack the menus. For better and for worse. I suppose it's immersive. You try to go in your backpack in the dark, it's hard to find things. I don't know if that's the part of the game everybody wanted to be immersed in, but that's what they went for. But don't worry, the sun shall rise again. Hello, Adrian. Yeah, so they've come to the Serpent Isle chasing Batlin of Britain. The Serpent Isle, it is, but I actually know the answer here. I'm certainly more brightly lit right now, like the sun. Although the sun isn't actually shining on me anymore, because all the windows in my home face directly east. So after noon, there's no more light. Ultima 7 and Knuckles. That's what it is. The answer is basically that Richard Garriott insisted that they could only go to the next number when they had a whole new engine. So this is in the same engine as the Black Gate, even though it's quite literally an entirely new game otherwise. So it's Ultima 7 Part 2. The Ultima series is like it's a non-decology. I think they sort of are, except that he like wrote them from scratch every time. So they like the first one, the first two, like the first one I haven't played it yet much, and certainly not on the stream. But the first one like has space shooting segments, and the second one I don't really know that much. Cedric, welcome. Then Ultima 3 went from being a single character game to a party game, where you have party of 4. So there were definitely some changes there. Like, I don't know if you'd call them engine level changes nowadays. I'm looking forward to experiencing that one day when I run the loop. But yeah, so they've come chasing Batlin in Britain, and also to see if they can find Elo's wife, Gweno. And they got here, and it's all screwy. Some magic teleporting lightning took away a bunch of our stuff. Perhaps most frustratingly, the spell book. I guess I need to... That's one thing that maybe I'll do if I have a little extra time. Just try to hunt down where some of those items might be. Meanwhile, while we're here, we've been embroiled in some local issues, including a big old conspiracy. You see, can I find my map? In the dark, with all my money in the way. Is the map even in this? Yes, it is. There it is. We are currently... we're still back at the Goblin hideout. Wait, is that where we are? Hold on. No, we've come back, but not returned to Monitor. Perfect. Yeah, so... There are goblins here, but they're not morally gray like some of the goblins in Ultima Underworld. These are bad goblins that are aligned with the Guardian, most likely. They had a secret hideout up here, and they had multiple... I'm sorry. I might not have laughed if you hadn't said "don't laugh" in all caps. Easier to find the Xeno, Yakko, and Zabo coordinates than to find the Yakko, Wacko, and Dot coordinates, though. They're more normalized, standardized. So here, in Monitor, so Monitor is the Village of Warriors here. Here's Fawn, the village, the City of Beauty. So I guess they correspond to bards in the very simplified Ultima 5 on class system of Ultima, where you're a mage, a fighter, or a bard who is kind of a fighter and kind of a mage. I think over here is a town called Moonshade we haven't been to. There's some other settlements. I'm sure we'll visit them in time. But anyway, the Monitorians are having some trouble because their guard patrols keep getting picked off and killed and such. I've already killed two moles of the Guardians who tried to kill me. Didn't work. When you come at the king or the avatar, you best not miss. What's going on? What's attacking? Kill it. Hooray. Hopefully none of us died. It's impossible to tell with the combination of it being very dark. Yeah, like... I have real mixed feelings about the realism factor of making it impossible to find your stuff in your bag or look at your friends, read the menus. Yeah, it's very... That's exact... Oh, man. None of us got poisoned when the C button didn't read and toggle us to combat mode. Yeah, that's a great analogy. It's like a... Man. This is not a... Maladaptive wolf behavior. Quest for Glory games have beautiful nighttime, though. No complaints there. And the menus don't go nighttime, which may be less immersive, but is definitely otherwise appreciated. Teleport lightning all over the place. Are we home? We're home. Well, home. Our home away from home, Montor. Hey, Governor. I suppose that dost wish me to operate the gate. You're the gateman. Yeah. So Mole's like the guy who runs the knighthood test tried to kill me on behalf of the Guardian. The tattooist poisoned me. We had to kill her on behalf of the did it on behalf of the Guardian. And then we have subsequently proven that another guy, I can't even remember his name, some jerk, now he's dead. Simon, the innkeeper. Man, if only we hadn't paid him. If we could have just held out a little bit longer, we'd have a free inn. Find out what time it is. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Hopefully that's a light. No. We have just traveled all night. I'm going to find my watch so I don't sleep the day away by mistake. Where's my watch? Right, so... yeah. Almost done the story so far. So last time, big revelation when we busted our way into the secret goblin hideout based on information that Simon gave us, because Simon, who turned out to be a goblin in deep cover, had absolutely no loyalty to anyone, and so readily betrayed his goblin commander. Damn it, I was trying to put the watch on my body. Instead, I put it in the other bag. Okay, whatever. Oh, it's only 3:02 or 5:02 a.m. I'll get 6 hours of sleep. If we sleep till 11 in the morning, that's fine. After we took out the goblins and slew the Goblin King, we got access to his treasure hoard, where it turned out, being a perfidious goblin, he was not, burn after reading his secret correspondence with the real traitors, who turned out to be Lord Marsten of the Lego Hair, and who's the literal, currently, Lord. It's a rotating position. It's not like he's a ruler here, but he's currently in charge of the city, like in an administrative role. And Spektor, the money changer. We got the proof. So we're gonna go find out what they have to say for themselves. And I bet it's something like, well, then I'll kill you, Avatar, and then we'll press the C button and it'll turn out that they're the ones who get killed. Shimino's got the food bag. It's a tiny little pouch on his waist, but don't be fooled. Alright. Once necessity is at bay, the Avatar is a vegetarian. So, everyone else can have meat. I'll have a pumpkin, grapes, some bread. I won't eat these lockpicks. Shimino, put the lockpicks in your main bag, in your big pile of lockpicks. Yeah, that's right, buddy. So, it does seem that hunting is a bigger get food thing in this game. Because we have a lot of meat because we killed some cows and pigs in the woods. Alright, hopefully everyone's satisfied. And now, it's time to remember where the town hall is. And then once we've done that... oh, what I do remember, as I slowly maybe start learning the shape of this place, is that the town hall is near a public park, and also that it's in like this. Town hall. It's anticlimactic to confront the treasurer first. But Lord Marsten's not here, so we'll confront this guy while we wait. Hey, Spektor. Yes? How may I help? Well, I was just wondering why you betrayed everybody, including me. I've been repeatedly assaulted by traitors, but also everyone you've ever known and loved. Seems kind of scummy. Does not seem virtuous. I suppose you people colonized this place to get away from the Britannian virtues, but It's dishonest. It's not compassionate. What? What dost thou mean? Art thou calling me a traitor? I may not be much of a fighter, but I can defend myself. No, you can't. No, sir. This is not the way to go. How about surrendering? We'll put you in the jail with Lydia's corpse. Oh, he's going for it. Is he? Oh. Is he glitched? I know you're the traitor. I think he's glitching out. Alright, well, you stew on that, buddy. And we'll wait for Lord Marsten to show up for work. Oh, maybe he just means he can defend himself. No, he said I'm no fighter, but I can defend myself. What does he mean? He didn't suddenly try to do something. Maybe I should talk to, like, Kaladin when he arrives. Which I guess will be after lunch. What time is it? Oh, good. Kaladin should be here before too long, and I think Marsten shows up around the same time. Oh, here we go. Hey, speak of the devil. But actually, hold on. No, this isn't Kaladin. This is, I'm ready to provide whatever aid I can, my lord. Thanks, Shimino, but I wasn't talking to you. This is the other guy. So, we meet again, James. Yes. So, well, you know what? Let's save the good news. Let's do the bad news first. I know who the traitor is. Ah! I've always known that buffoon Luther was the criminal. Those bears shall sing a different tune now. No, I did not say Luther. Luther's a good guy. He might be, have a bit of a drinking problem, be a little violent and stuff, but dost thou have proof? We found evidence among the goblins, documents signed by the traitor. May I see? Here are the scrolls. But this is not what I expected. Well, have you ever heard? We have a saying in Britannia, sir. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Hey, Abra. What's up? Do you want to sit? I have Greg's chair all set up for you. Lord Marsten was the traitor, and that worm Spektor aided him. Death would be too kind for them. It seems that Marsten sought to spare Astrid's life, but he failed her even as he betrayed his manhood. Marsten sought to betray Bull Tower. We must act quickly to warn the tower. I thank thee for showing these documents. Justice will be served. Thou mayst keep those documents, if thou wishest. I guess I'll keep it. Do not worry. We shall arrest these vermin. Will that happen in engine? Pikemen! Oh, yeah. They're getting to work. So, he summoned his pikemen. Okay. This isn't going to play out while we watch. And then we have to warn Bull Tower by the sleeping bull. And you know what? Just to refresh my memory, another lingering thread is with the healer's daughter, Kantra, who's been kidnapped. Not sure if the healer will have anything new to say. Whew, 'tis hot. How may I help thee now? Dost thou have need of healing, or dost thou wish to buy my vegetables? Just remind me what you have to say about Kantra. I'm so grateful thou hast taken on the quest of saving my daughter. If I can help thee, ask. I guess you can't right now. I do have the note about trying to find... Actually, hold on. Can we have her dialogue again? No. No, it's okay. You're plenty of help. I will buy some food. I grow vegetables to feed the town. And sometimes to trade. Yeah. Yeah, come on, Richard Garriott. The people could have waited another 3 years while you figured out how to make that work in the creaky Ultima 7 Part 2 engine. Yeah, I do wish to purchase just some bananas. I love bananas. My lord, thou shouldst try my bananas. I can sell thee 2 for 6 monetari. It's 1 banana, Michael. What could it cost? 6 monetari? Or 3 monetari? Okay, sure. I hate charging such prices, but times are hard. I'm just impressed you can even grow bananas in this climate. Just gonna buy a couple. In bunches of 2, how many do I want? Give me 3 bunches. We have a lot of monetary right now. I'll be reckless with it. No more purchases. I really probably shouldn't have made that one. Fare thee well. Oh, we should have got some training in the morning. Training is going to be absolute torture. Managing to use up all our training points. Fortunately, we're doing okay so far. Okay. We have to go to Bull Tower. Which means I need to figure out where Bull Tower is. One moment. I believe I've got a... putting the map on screen gimmick set up. Okay. So... oh! The end of the Sleeping Bull is just right here. It's even much closer even than the places we've already gone. Great. Well, then let's go and warn them. Wait, what? What was that? Fog bank rolled through. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm probably carrying these bananas around like a chump. Shimino, get the food bag out. Hey, Mr. Tallyman. Tally up these bananas for me. They don't stack. Once they're torn off the bunch, they're solo bananas for life. Sands of time are dwindling. We must hurry. Yeah, Dupre, I was trying to talk to the gate guy. Come on, dude. I suppose that I'll wish me to operate the gate. What do I ever otherwise ask you for? I suppose I should now and then be like, how's your day? All of my conversation ideas are just name and job. And I know this guy's job. Maybe I should ask his name, but... all right. We're well on the way. Oh, we're there. Everyone's in decent health. Would love to be trained up a little more, but what can you do? All right, so this is the inn, right? To Sleeping Bull. Perfect. So maybe... no, yeah, this just is it. We're there. Where's the tower specifically? Well, you know, maybe we can just warn the innkeeper first. I don't know. This doesn't seem like the door to go into the inn proper. Oh, they've got like a storm porch. Nice. Hello, folks of the inn. Excuse me, miss. Pardon me, my lord. My name is Selina. Well, hello, Selina. New song. I like it. Big props to this game for the 1-2 punch of deeply downplaying the most annoying musical cue from Blackgate, which is, of course, the constant refrain of Rule Britannia. Not that that's not a jaunty song. I just don't need to hear it like that many different times a day. Hold on, just getting my note sheet set up for the Sleeping Bull. All right, we've got Selina here. That us look to be brave and trustworthy. I'm not just brave and trustworthy, I'm honest, valorant, honorable, compassionate. I could go on, but I'm too humble. Technically, yes, that's exactly the story. Not only did they downplay that, but they took the awesome Serpent's Hold cue, which you barely ever hear because there's not that much to do with the Serpent's Hold besides once, return a kidnapped baby, and then otherwise just be like, oh, hey, all these people are Star Trek characters. Because it's the Serpent Isle. We hear the Serpent Hold song all the time, and it's great. And then there's new cues, and I like them too. I need thy protection. Yeah, no kidding. This inn's about to come under attack due to the foul betrayal of Lord Marsten, who I expect will be in jail when I return to Britannia. Monitor. So you need my protection? Yes, protection. People are disappearing around here. I do not know if it's those mysterious storms, or if there's something more sinister at work. All I know is that I'm afraid. People are disappearing. First, there was someone they call Silverplate, and now Angus is gone. One built the inn, the other was the innkeeper here. And those others disappearing doth cause me to wonder if this place is cursed or something. Or what if it's, the goblin horde that was, until very recently, set up around here. Yeah, these storms could also be a culprit. They're teleportation storms, Hey, Abra. Everyone knows these are not natural storms, James. How did you know my name? Why, even the mages of Moonshade are worried. Old Gustachio is practically pulling out what little Harry doth have, trying to discover what's causing them. And if the mages are worried, James, people such as we should be very wary indeed. I'm actually a mage. If there's like a pine tree around here, maybe I could return this pine cone I've been carrying and my magic book will be there. Others have disappeared too, you say? Well, Ensorcio told me that Theron, one of the servants, disappeared not long ago. And then, on the night that Angus disappeared, 2 guests disappeared as well. Gustachio. Gustachio specializes in weather magic, James. 'Tis all very confusing if thou dost ask me. I know that the Council of Mages questioned him closely after these storms began, but they seemed to think he had no hand in them, and set him the task of trying to stop them. Right. Tell me about the Council of Mages. Yeah, what... It's like naming your kid Jeeves. Except that's actually not it. It's like naming your kid Jeeves the butler. The Council of Mages oversees all of the mages in Moonshade. I don't know much more about them than that. Thou just ask Ensorcio, if thou dost wish to know more. Yeah, I was actually going to ask. You know a guy named Ensorcio? What's he do? He is the mage who's staying here. He doth seem sinister, but he's nice to me. Not as nice as Argus, but nice for a mage. He seems to drink a lot. He doth have a bad temper, too. So hold on, there's a mage who's even nicer than Ensorcio? Argus is very nice to me. He compliments me on my dress and my hair, even though I know I look a mess. You're wearing a string of pearls right now, and you've very clearly blown out your hair. You do not look a mess. He's much nicer when Devra isn't around. I do not think she likes me. Oh, so is that Devra or Deborah? Ah, whatever. Tell me about this Devra. She's always watching me. It doth make me nervous. Mayhap I shall be the next one to disappear. If she were not so old, I might think she had something to do with those people disappearing. Or maybe she knows more than she doth admit. Or maybe you're trying to start a witch hunt. And then, pardon me, you also said 2 guests. I did not meet them, but Ensorcio told me about them. He said something about one of them being a mage, and the other being a very large man. That's our Batlin. So now, thou dost understand why I'm so worried. If something could happen to a mage, or a big, strong man, what chance do I have? Oh, like that kind of big. That might not have been Batlin. Is Batlin strong? I don't know. You know what? Enough about this. So you said you have a lost ring? An engagement ring. I suppose it would be too much to hope it was for me. Honestly, young lady. Forgive me, James. I was merely jesting. I should have realized it was not thine, James. See how crude the tracery is, and how ill the stones fit? It is clearly an unacceptable piece of inferior quality. It looks like it may have come from one of the lesser artisans in Moonshade. This lost ring, one of the lesser artisans in Moonshade. Speaking of moon, that's Selina throwing a little bit of moonshade of her own right there. This goofy ass fur cap I'm wearing, do you recognize that? How cute! But dost thou not think it's a bit warm here for a fur cap? And I don't know, but it seems a bit small for thee. That's actually accurate to my real life. I'm a diminutive fellow overall, but I do have a very large head. Like a video game character. But it seems a bit small. Yeah, I said that. And then something about Stoneheart? I don't even remember the context of why I'm saying the word Stoneheart to you. Stoneheart. I don't know about, rocks, James. Put it away, please. Let's just find someone else to ask. Okay, it's just one of my many objects. Who do you think might be a better person to ask? Maybe, like, Ensorcio? Thou couldst ask a scholar or some such. Perhaps even a mage might be able to help. I don't know. Alright, well, nice to meet you, Selina. Till we meet again. Hey, you there. In the red. Hail, minstrel. Welcome to Sleeping Bull, brave pikeman. I'm Baron, gleeman, or minstrel, if thou wilt. I know many tales and tunes of adventure and valor and adventure, however you like to say it. You get some tales, you say? Oh, for those with an adventurous spirit, I can tell thee of the northern savages. Oh, great. Awesome. Can we call them just like the northern people? For those who wish to hear of a lost civilization, I can tell thee of the people who left the ruins on this continent. For those who would hear a tale of bitter bravery, I can tell thee of the lost king. Okay. A little problematic that you call these people the northern savages, huh? Once thou dost leave the warm lands of man, thou dost come into the realm of the northern savages. Look at this smug guy. He's this Ted Cruz looking jerk. These creatures have faces that strongly resemble that of a normal man, but they are covered head to foot in a shaggy fur pelt. Like they're wearing a fur pelt, or are you saying... Okay, they're actually just like creatures. Can we give them just a proper name and not call them savages? Some say these creatures are a lost tribe of man that hath adapted to the cold. Still others claim that the savages are a mage-created race that guards some great mystical secret. None can say if they're intelligent. They build no structures, speak no recognizable language. There's also a song about the northern savages. Wouldst thou care to hear it? Abra? Ah, she's gonna keep going. I better go check on her. Hang tight, gang. I'll be right back with you. And she settled down. I think that she, because Abra is a cat, she is past the like acute, constant awareness of her sister's absence, of course, just because of the way that her memory works. But I think she went down and started eating her lunch because she didn't eat it when I put it out for her. And I think meal times are a pretty surefire stimulus for her to suddenly be like, "Hey, where's my sister?" And then she starts wailing and sounding very sad. All right, sing me your racist song. All right then. Far away in the cold white north there lives a vicious band. With soft grey fur they walk about on two legs just like men. Why not just like a man? You know, for the rhyme. Do not fool thyself to think that they might be a pretty robe. For if thou dost go a-hunting them, thou shalt never return home again. If thou didst enjoy the song, I would appreciate a small contribution to my room and board. It's gonna be really small, because that song sucked. But here, have one monetary. Many thanks, my lord. Perhaps thou wouldst care to hear another song. Or, if thou art tired, I can return later. Let's just keep talking. What of this lost culture? Long ago, before any of the cities thou knowest... before any of the cities thou knowest today were built, we have to mentally prepare ourselves for the fact that it's entirely possible in the next 3 months, or especially after November, that Ted Cruz is going to land at least one great burn on J.D. Vance. We won't have to hand it to him. There will be no obligation to hand it to him. There was a race of man who worshipped 3 great elemental serpents. Some followed one of fire, others followed one of ice. Was the other one of steam? No, earth. Still others followed one of earth. As only the serpent of earth could withstand both fire and the ice of the other serpents, it possessed the most power. The fire and ice serpents were violently opposed to each other, but were held in check by the serpent of earth. And then the serpent of earth lost power. The fire and ice serpents warred for supremacy. When the battle ended, it mattered not which serpent had won, for the land was destroyed, and all the worshippers lay dead. Damn. Tell me of this lost king. To the north of here, how do you think Gwenno felt when she got to this guy and she had to like try to write down his songs? Like, there's no time signature here. This doesn't scan. There's no rhyme. There's no refrain. To the north of here stand 2 castles, seemingly left open by the ravages of time, empty by the ravages of time, but neither is truly empty, for they both hold the ghosts of trust betrayed. In one majestic castle, a lady waits for her faithless lover, who pledged his love and never returned. I'm going to make note of this. I've already forgotten this guy's name, but I know he's a minstrel, and I can get his name later. He's a minstrel. Two castles lie abandoned in the north, save for the ghosts. In one, a lady waits for her faithless lover, who pledged his love and never returned. Scared of commitment, this guy. In the other, a father and ruler, driven mad for the loss of daughter and erstwhile friend, took his people beyond the cares of time. That's a real euphemistic way to say family annihilator. Oh, not a family annihilator. He killed everybody. In the other, a father and ruler. I'll get his exact words, just in case. Driven mad for the loss of daughter and erstwhile friend. I think that's the first time in my life I've ever typed the word erstwhile. My fingers were not prepared to do ERST. Took his people beyond the cares of time. Well, that's a demented thing for him to do to all of them. One other quality of life thing from a note sheet. Okay. All the trapped souls await the return of the one whose desertion forever changed the land he had sworn to protect. All the trapped souls await the return of the one whose desertion forever changed the land he had sworn to protect. I assume that refers to the second castle. If it refers to the first one, what if it turns out that it's Dupre? Dupre, have you ever been to the Serpent Isle before? You cad. All wait for the return of the lost king and revenge. Wait, what art thou talking about? It seems... But no, it could not be. Hast thou any more to tell us of this lost king? Dost thou know his name? Few in truth have ventured within that castle, Lord. They fear the wrath of she who dwells there. And none have ever returned from the... Right, of course. I haven't played the early Ultimas yet, but I have read and should have remembered that Shamino in the first Ultima is the king of one of the lands, and that this game is repurposing some of those lands. But the name that is given for the lost king is Lord Shamino. It can't be. There must be some mistake. There's a song about the lady. Wouldst thou care to hear it? Care isn't quite the right word. It is a sad ballad indeed. Long ago there lived a maid, as fair as a summer morn. She loved a king, a noble king, who left her all forlorn. Hey, good job, buddy. That scanned and rhymed. Anyway, he pledged his heart and sailed away, never to return again. Her heart did break and fade away into the icy northern wind. That is enjoy my song. A small contribution. All right, buddy. This guy, he was ready for the social media age where you post something on Twitter or Blue Sky and then immediately reply to yourself with a link to your Cash App. If you like my work, please support it. Many thanks, my lord. Perhaps thou wouldst care to hear another song, or, if thou art tired, I can return later. There's a song about the other castle as well. Wouldst thou care to hear it? All right, buddy, give it to us. Prepare thyselves. Once this land was ruled by kings, one old, one young, but friends true. Then one day the young king sailed away, and the old king lost his mind. This song sucks. Plagued by goblins and treachery vile, the old king went too far. He killed those he would protect, and threw himself from the White Dragon Tower. Better note that the Mad King... Okay, hold on. Actually, next to a lady waits for her faithless lover, Shamino. And then Mad King took his people beyond the cares of time, and then jumped from the White Dragon Tower. Abra. Oh, those sad sounds. All right. Oh, you know what, buddy? Have a Falari. If you ever head up north. All right. I've got song and tunes. What song? If you have a new song, I guess I'll listen to it, because it might have clues. Walk carefully when thou art dreaming, never stray too far, for there is one who is waiting to trap thy very soul. This is no lullaby by The Cure. See the balance slipping in the fight between ill and good. Thou shalt walk the beam to find the treasure thou seekest. Okay. Third song. Something about walking around while dreaming. Walk the beam to find the treasure thou seekest. Okay. Yeah. Here, have a monetary. And that's it. Bye-bye. Farewell, Gleeman. Okay. Then we've got brown shirt dude. Moment, sir. I'm not in trouble then, am I? I didn't do anything. My name's Kane. I'll be a sheepherder. You mean a sheepherder? Oh, I say shepherd. We call them shepherds where I come from, but okay. I'm waiting for passage to Moonshade, if thou pleasest. What are you doing, Moonshade? I was told by Mistress Devra I could buy passage with Captain Hawk to Moonshade. When the captain came to the dock. It's going pretty well, Flamin' Bee. We exposed the traitors. The pikemen of Monitor are taking care of that. We're now at the Sleeping Bull Inn. I came here to warn them about the goblin ambush. Not that the goblin ambush is coming. We slaughtered the goblins. But now I'm bogged down just talking to the people. When the captain came to the dock, he swore that he'd not go out in these storms again. I do not blame him, to tell you the honest truth, my lord. But I do wish there was some way for me to talk to the mages there. Who's this Devra? Oh, she used to be a nice lady, my lord. Mistress Devra helped me to count my money when I came. She put part of it in a little sack. Told me I was to give it to Captain Hawk to buy passage. And when she counted the rest, I could not afford to stay here until the captain decided it was safe to sail. But she said if I helped by chopping wood and such, I could stay as a servant like. That was terrible kind of her. I guess. He's a poor Kane. He means well. So is Captain Hawk. Captain Hawk sails the Arabella. It's the ship out at the dock out there, Wheeze. He was staying here till he got in a fight and the pikemen took him away. Thou art not here to take me too, art thou? No. I didn't fight, honest. I hid under the table and Captain Hawk and Master Flindo started shouting at one another. Hold on. Flindo? Master Flindo is a merchant of some sort, I think. He is not very nice. All he doth do is complain about Captain Hawk not wanting to sail to Moonshade. He says the Captain Hawk only wants more money. No, but the captain refused all his offers of more money. I think the captain did not want to put us all in danger is all. And Mr. Flindo was not very happy when the pikemen took Captain Hawk away. The pikemen, you say? Begging thy pardon, my lord, I don't mean any disrespect. Mr. Flindo came in with several pikemen and said something to Captain Hawk I didn't hear. And the two of them began yelling and well. Then someone began swinging. I did not see who, being under the table and all. Someone clouted Captain Hawk pretty hard. And then the pikemen were dragging him away. Mr. Argus
shouted them to leave him be, but thy pardon, they told him to mind his own unkeeping and nothing else. Mr. August was mighty angry. Was going after them, but Mistress Divra stopped him. He said words I ain't never heard before.
Righto. Tell me about this Argus.
I ain't big and strong, though. I'll wager he could even lift even more than my brother. And Adrian can lift 2 full-grown ewes all by himself. I can tell that Master Argus is, was, a pikeman. He doth have those marks on his face. But I do not understand why those other fellows treated him like they did. Perhaps they were angry at him for talking like that in front of his mother?
Mayhaps. What do you think of these teleport storms?
Enough to make a man's blood turn to us, my lord. Why, one moment Adrian was not more than 5 paces from me, and then he weren't nowhere to be found. Of course, it took a minute or two for mine eyes to clear and mine ears to cease runging after that lightning strike. But I went searching right away. I couldn't find hardly a hair of him.
Edrin, your brother.
Adrian is my older brother, my lord. We were heading the sheep into the bin one night. When one of these strange storms hit out a clear sky. Look, but ain't no one seen him. All I found was this here parrot, which I brought along for the company to Moonshade.
Yeah, that parrot. That's a handsome bird.
I'd been searching for Adrian all over a day, I suppose, when I found this here parrot sitting under a tree all puffy like. Well, now I was awful lonesome, so I asked the bird what it was doing out in the forest instead of home in a cage. I looked leapt out of my skin when the thing croaked, "Ale!" But Captain Hawk said that's just the way of such birds. Still and all, I think Ale, 'tis his name now, smarter than some of the folks I know. And he doth have a powerful fondness for ale. I hope Adrian will allow me to keep ale. After all, he doth have his crystal, and I do not have nothing.
You say your brother has a crystal?
When I was not very old, Dad took Adrian to Moonshade with him. I remember I cried and cried, but Mother said I was too young to go. She promised I'd be allowed to go next time. Only there wasn't a next time because Dad died that fall. And Adrian and I have been too busy with the sheep to go since then. But sometimes when I was scared at night, Adrian would let me hold the crystal until I fell asleep. And I never had any dreams then. Who would have thought I'd travel all alone to Moonshade like this one day?
When I sleep with my brother Edrin's crystal. I don't have dreams. Also, Captain Hawk was taken and the pikeman. So you're really set on Moonshade. Sounds like there's a lot of emotional significance to you, even though you've never been there.
Wheel, my lord. As near as I can surmise, if these storms ain't natural, then that means they must be magic-like. And everyone knows that if thou dost want anything magic, like thou should go to Moonshade. If these storms took Idrin away in the magic lock, then one of them mages must be able to tell me how to find them. All I have to do is go there and ask. Mistress Divra told me I might ask Master Ensorcio if he could help me. She said he was one of them mages. I wondered about that because everyone doth know that all mages love in Moonshade. But I asked anyhow.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
I do not like to speak ill of anyone, my lord, but Mr. Ensorcio doth have the worst temper I've ever seen. All I did was ask if he was a mage and could he help me. And he threatened to change me to a frog. All he would have had to do was tell me to go away, leave him alone, and I would have not bothered him no more. Now, I know Dad used to say, if we were to bed, the mages would come and take us away. Master Ensorcio never had a dad to teach him manners. You seem like a nice guy, Kane. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Excuse me, ale. Damn it. Ale, slow down. I can't double click on you, buddy. Oh, cool. Cute bird. Okay. Maybe Ale is not the kind of parrot who speaks in full sentences and gives us lore. Greetings, fellow pikemen. Come in out of them strange storms, rest a bit. This be the inn of the Sleeping Bull. And I be Argus, the innkeeper. The new innkeeper. Well, hold on. There. Okay, Argus. Innkeeper. New. Well, hello, Argus. These storms, man, they're something. These ain't natural storms, or I never was a wolf captain. If thou were to ask me, living all these years across from Moongate, I'd say they were magic born. And I'm afraid they'll drive us out of business if they last too long. So you're the proprietor here of the Sleeping Bull. Now, 'tis an uncommon name, to be sure. It doth have something to do with the village that was once here. According to family tales, this land once belonged to a mage who hated all people. This mage created a huge stone bull to kill trespassers on his land. 'Twas the bull's defeat that gave the village its name and, in turn, became the name of the inn itself. To be honest, I didn't even find the name Sleeping Bull to be that strange for an inn. So you were a wolf captain, huh? I see thou art also of the wolf command. Though I must confess, I can't recall having seen thee. I'm new. Until my father disappeared 6 months ago, I was a captain in the Monitor Wolf Command. Now, however, I'm the innkeeper, and I'll not stand by the formalities of rank. Thou'rt welcome here. Wait, the formalities of rank would oblige you to not let me stay in your inn? Anyway, I'm sorry to hear about your father. Angus disappeared. And not during one of these storms, neither. We could have understood that. And mother, Devra. You can just call her mother. You can say my mother, Devra. Anyway, whatever. Said that one of our guests disappeared the very same evening. Oh my. Which one of your guests? Thou must needs ask Mother what she remembers of that night. I weren't here. Mother was understandably aggrieved by the time she called me home. She had hoped that Lord Wilfred would come to run the inn as father had hoped, but I came instead. And I don't recall if she mentioned the guest's name, to be honest. So your mother was really hoping for this Wilfred. Blast! Did I call him? Old habits die hard. I'd like to thank thee not to repeat that in Devra's hearing, for she'd have mine ears for sure. Wilfred is my younger brother, and like most brothers, we have our share of spats. Oh, so you're not supposed to call him by his formal title because he's your brother? Is that what's... anyway, what kind of spats? I grew up here in the inn, scrubbing pots, whatever else we needed. But I dreamt of seeing more of the world. I went wandering when I was a young lad, and Angus, our father, raised Wilfred, using me as the bad example. But instead of making Wilfred hold to his wishes, Angus drove Wilfred into my footsteps, determined to do best anything I did. That's the problem with being like, listen, son, you don't want to be like your cool older brother having adventures all the time. You want to scrub the pots real good. Scrub those chamber pots. That's what you want.
So you're a bad example. You're prodigal son, basically.
Father said I looked too much like my great-grandfather, Silverpate. He never much thought I'd amount to much. Even after I'd made captain. Jeez.
That's sad. It feels like it might one day be important to know that his great-grandfather was this Silverplate.
It like to broke his heart when Wilfred ran away to Monitor. That's where the Lord Wilfred hides from. He acts like a swaggering noble with all his self-important ambition.
Hold on a sec. If I met Wilfred, he's not on my list of people. Unless he's the gate guard. So he's always trying to best you say?
I became a captain in Monitor, but that was not good enough for Wilfred. He had to be a knight, and a bear at that. It is sad to see the likes of him and his friends making a mockery of Monitor's ideals.
But you had to be a knight to become the captain, so how did he best you by becoming a knight and not a captain? But hold on. What ideals do you think that the bulls make a mockery of, or the bears, or whatever you said?
Thou hast seen the changes, I'm sure.
Certainly some population changes. I keep having to kill these traitors.
Courage and valor have become so debased that knights like Wilfred are little more than braggarts and mercenaries. Where once the pinnacle of honor was a Monitorian knight, now people see them as vain bullies. It sickens me. I had nearly decided to renounce my commission when Mother sent word of Father's disappearance.
Yeah. So, what's the deal with your great-granddad, Silverpate?
Silverpate were a pirate. I'll make no bones about it. He built this inn when he retired from the sea. His son, Donald, my father's father, took over when Silverpate disappeared. Some think he might have gone back to the sea. Others say his evil past caught up to him. No one ever saw him again. There have been plenty wanting to hunt for his treasure.
Okay. He was a pirate before he founded the Sleeping Bull. His son, Donald, took over for him, but disappeared. Everyone wants his hidden treasure. Treasure, you say? My ears are burning.
Family legend, I'll say. Silverpate used part of his treasure to build the inn. Everyone seems to think he hid whatever was left somewhere around here before he disappeared. But I'll tell thee, there ain't no treasure and I should know.
I guess. Yeah.
So you were the commander of the wolves. Hardy bunch, are we not? Not as hot-headed as those bears. Much more tightly knit than those leopards.
I really think that Monitor would benefit from a little bit less intra-community hatred. Sorry, can we circle back around to your concerns about your inn going out of business because of the teleport storms?
Aye. Few people stray too far from shelter these days. Even Hawk put in here and refused to budge because of the storms. Those passengers are less than thrilled with his decision. And all our help ran off to the cities, hoping it would be safer around all those buildings.
Tell me about his passengers. Hawk hath 2 passengers staying here till he puts out again. If he ever pays the pikeman, that is. Feels like something I'll have to do. One of them is the fellow with the parrot. Kane, I think his name is. The other is an arrogant fellow named Flindo. He's a merchant. I was glad to have them, being as we only have 4 other guests. Tell me about your other guest, yet? There'd be Ensorcio. He's an exiled mage from Moonshade. There'd be Selina, who hath not been here very long. She's very afraid of these storms. Byron's here, which is a blessing. 'Tis good to have a gleeman. Thank you for reminding me of the gleeman's name. And also, I recorded him as a minstrel, but gleeman is such a cooler word. Maybe cool is the wrong word.
And then there'd be that new fellow, Migum. Don't know too much about him. He's only been here a few days, he's rarely out of his room. Ah, yeah. Any other thoughts about Monitor? What can I tell thee that us not already know? Monitor is a city the south of here is dedicated to courage and valor. Monitorian soldiers called the pikemen. They wear a tattoo on their faces. Yeah, I know. There are 3 pikemen. Okay, all right. I'm gonna. That's awesome. Did you ever get to run the city? Senior officer of the command becomes Lord of Monitor for that command's portion of the year. This ensures the continuing balance of commands. It was meant to keep the battling for supremacy between the commands at a minimum. If each command knows that it will have a chance to control the city during the year, more attention is given to the military functions of the command rather than the political. Yeah. You ever been to Moonshade? Sorry, I know I'm jumping around here. Back on Earth, I take medication for ADHD, but I haven't found a good reagent. I've never been there myself, and not being overly fond of wizards and the feuds. But if thou desirest spells or items of enchantment, this is the place to go. If thou art looking to go to the city of mages, though, I don't need a boat. Wizards getting a lot of feuds, you say? There isn't a sorcerer alive who doesn't scheme to become mage lord of that city. Whole place is built and split into rival factions that bicker constantly with each other. So I need a boat, you say? Magic storms have wrecked every boat on this coast except one, and that vessel belongs to Captain Hawk. Tell me more about Captain Hawk. It's no use thinking of hiring him. He was in a fracas here. Broke things up a bit. The pikemen dragged Hawk away when he took a swing at the commander. He's being held at Bull Tower till he pays their fine. Oh, those pikemen. I didn't call them, my lord. He's APAD. APAB. I've known Hawk since I was a boy, and being a pikeman myself. I guess he can't be APAB if he is a pikeman. I have little to worry about with him. But that's just what makes him a strong voice for reform, actually. To be sure, he can put up a mighty fight and break things, but he always pays for the damages when he wakes. Someone else must have pulled them in after him. Who? I'd wager my sword it was that merchant Flindo. He was mightily put out when Hawk refused to set sail to Moonshade until the storms eased up. Well, getting him arrested would surely speed that up. And way long back, you told me about the bull's defeat. One day, Mage heard a local noble's son claim that he could defeat the bull. The mage told the boy he was welcome to try, but death would be the reward of failure. When the boy asked what would reward his success, the mage wagered his land. That night, the boy stole the ring from the bull's nose, turning it back to inanimate stone. The village was named after the huge stone bull that once stood in the center of the market square. I do not know what happened to the bull, if there ever was one. For I searched for it as a lad, I never found it. Well, I better get a room here. Cost is 8 gold coins per person. Gold coins? Well, I'm going to say yes, and you tell me if I have enough. I do believe thou dost not have enough gold coins for a room. Well, bad news, because I got the money changer locked up, so I'll just sleep outside and hope that the teleport lightning doesn't kill me. And also, we do have to go to the tower at some point and warn them. No point in upsetting people here. Pull open the curtain. Is this one I already spoke to? Nope. Look at this dude. Some kind of merchant. He runs a comic book store. The name is Flindo. I own a provisioning shop in Moonshade. I have many important connections there. So, art thou another stranded victim of Hawk and his childish fear of storms? Or art thou here to investigate the curious disappearance of Mistress Devra's good husband? Well, I don't know. Do you not think it's rational to be concerned about the teleportation lightning storms? That bag of wind calls himself a sailor. Huh! Worst sailor ever. Now, I'm asking thee, what manner of captain would strand me and poor dumb Kane, paying passengers, mind thee, here in this little backwater inn because of some storm? So I went to the pikeman. Well, that mystery is solved. Yeah, this guy definitely is ready to talk to a manager. Immediately. The pikemen? Everyone knows the pikemen guard the roads and towns, my lord. They are noted for their honesty. I thought perhaps they could persuade Hawk to abandon his ploy for more money, sail for Moonshade as he should. I made an appropriately large donation to their coffers. I did not expect them to waylay Hawk to rot in some jail cell. But why didn't you expect that, if you're so smart? And why does a man whose shirt says genius at work spend his time watching a children's cartoon show? I suppose that's what comes of me not knowing the difference between leopards, bears, and wolves. Do you know about the leopards now? I know what any non-Monitorian knows, my lord. The leopards are one of the 3 commands of Monitor. They control the tower nearest Monitor itself. I know they share the rule of Monitor. What about the bears? I know little about them, my lord. Bears are one of 3 commands of Monitor. They control the tower near Fawn, where their natural aggressiveness can be put to use against the goblins. This guy looks like Meatloaf if he didn't have it in him to be a rock star. If he hadn't, I suppose. Meatloaf is dead. If he hadn't had it in him to be a rock star. What about the wolves? Speak carefully. Not being from Monitor, I'm afraid I'm woefully uninformed, my lord. Wolves are one of the 3 commands of Monitor. They control the tower near here, the Sleeping Bowl. Wolves are regarded as the friendliest of all the commands. Yeah, we're pretty good. We're pretty good. Kane seems like a nice guy. I look for a young lad talking to a parrot. That'll be him. Witless lad doth have enough sense to steer clear of Ensorcio. Comes asking if Ensorcio is a mage. How would Ensorcio help him and Ale find his lost brother? I obviously misread his last line, which was not saying that Kane has sense to avoid Ensorcio. Kane doth not have the sense of a cat. Listen, I'm not just a wolf. I am a cat person, so be careful here. What do you think of Ensorcio? Now, there's one to avoid if there ever was one. The mages wondered when Vasculo took Ensorcio as an apprentice. Temper like that, it is not good in a mage. And then, when thou considers Vasculio's interests, well, it is enough to make a body worry. And then, with what happened about that adept's daughter, should be taking some notes. Okay. Ensorcio was trained by guy. I'll get that name later. He's got a, or a phlebotomist, but yes. Certainly his name suggests. Or like a, maybe does sports medicine, or he's like a athletics coach. No one was surprised when the Council of Mages stepped in and exiled Ensorcio, except maybe Ensorcio himself. All right, so what's the story with this parrot? Ale is what Kane calls that parrot of his. It certainly shows a great enthusiasm for the brew, to be sure. Not usual for a bird, mind thee, but trick most likely taught to it by some sailor before the lad found it. Kind of like, I can't think of the character's name, Dizzy? In season 2 of The Wire, who brings a duck around that likes to drink at the bar. Anyway, yeah, so Vasculio. Do not tell me thou hast not heard that legend. I was not around for any of this, mind thee. I wasn't even born yet. Ensorcio isn't as young as he appears, being a mage and all. But tell me about it, man. My friends here are like
400 years old, and for some reason only ELO looks it. My father talked about it enough. It happened when he was a mere boy. And what about the adept? Well, hold on. What is the legend? Well, years ago, there was experimenting plenty among the mages. There were not nearly as many restrictions as there are now. Vasculio specialized in death magic. Not like Mortegro, mind thee. Mortegro definitely sounds like a death mage. No, Vasculio did not want to speak with the dead. He wanted to cause death. And he was none too particular if it was a quick death or not anyway. Soon his research even upset the Council of Mages. When the council went to deliver Vasculio an ultimatum, they found him indeed so horrible that it was determined that he was no longer human. I'm going to make note of this. He was trained by Vasculio, the Death Mage. They put him to death, but his tomb was broken open and empty before a week had passed. And they say that somehow he still lives to practice his dark arts. Well, I've already, fairly recently I killed a lich, so if it comes to that, I'm ready. Yeah. What other restrictions were in? Well, there are quite a number of them, and I only know a few, not being a mage. Let's see. Certain creatures cannot be summoned within the confines of the city. This will come to light after some damn fool mage summons a dragon that burns half the city. Only mages approved by the Council of the Mages may sell death spells. And the council must be notified of all research and experiments. Yeah. Alright, we're going to need a lot of things, starting with a ferryman's toll. There. It is all I can remember. The desires to know more, I should speak to a mage. But I thought you told me Ensorcio's a jerk. What about this Mortegro? Oh, Mortegro's fine. A bit flighty at times, but all mages are, if that was to ask me. Mortegro's true specialty is speaking with the dead. I've spoken with the dead. It's a level 6 spell. It's not that much. So the Adept's daughter, what happened there? Oh. That would do well not to ask too closely who she is, my lord. Mages are very protective of their privacy and their pride. Suffice to say that Ensorcio took a fancy to the girl and, when she would not give him the time of day, used his magic to persuade her to see him. The implication. I was surprised the council punished him with simple exile. I would have thought he would have gone to the mountains of freedom for his crime. Is this a thing where the name is misleading? Speak that name quietly, my lord, and hope thou never hast reason to learn too much about it. Long ago, those mountains were full of ore. Many spent their lives mining it. But most of the veins were empty when they uncovered the stone heart. Stone heart, you say? Sss! Never repeat that word in public, my lord, or thou wilt find a personal view of the mountains of freedom. Hold on a second. Flindo. The stone heart comes from the mountains of freedom. A terrible, dreadful place. No one said freedom was going to be free. Stoneheart can be used to create another mineral, a strange reagent that magnifies magical power, especially death spells. And it's very dangerous. Anyway, after that was found there, the mines were sealed until Felbercio became Mage Lord, that is. Oh, you better believe we're getting some terrible cartoon, pigeon Italian accents from me when we get to Moongate. So tell me about this Felbercio. Felbercio is an ambitious man, my lord. He's also a man of many passions, shall we say. Not all in Moonshade were happy when he became Mage Lord, and Felbercio would have it that he is a popular ruler, and he would enjoy the powers of his office without fearing rivals. So Felbercio filled the mines with all manner of magical traps and made it a prison for his enemies. 'Tis said
'Tis said that if thou canst escape from the depths of stone, thou art free and vindicated of any charges against thee. But, as of yet, none have proven themselves innocent, if thou takest my meaning. So the Mage Lord, they really say this? They spell this with camel case? It sounds so unserious. The Mage Lord must be an adept, and he rules all of Moonshade. Although the Mage Lord's power is great, it is held in check by the other members of the Council of Mages. Being that mages are, by nature, egotistical, the Council of Mages is only open to other adepts, the peers of the Mage Lord. Their presence on the Council is meant to keep the Mage Lord from becoming too tyrannical. Yeah. What do you think of the storms, anyway? To abruptly change the subject. I find it hard to believe a man such as Hawk, with a ship such as the Arabella, would fear any storm, magical or otherwise. I've heard of too many odd events connected to these storms to discount their unusual nature. But all such tales speak of danger on land. I think Hawk's reluctance to sail lies more at the bottom of an empty mug and an empty coffer. I think it's the teleportation storms. His ship's the Arabella? The Arabella is a fine ship. Good lines, fast running before a stiff breeze. And I have heard that Hawk had some sort of enchantment laid on her so that she cannot be sailed without him on board. But that could merely be more of his idle boasts. No, that sounds like a quest line I would have to complete. He said there's been curious disappearance. It occurred immediately after I arrived here. I recall that one morning, Mistress Devra was beside herself with worry because Angus was nowhere to be found. I told her not to worry herself too much, as sometimes a man will feel too constricted at home, need to wander for a bit. Yeah, this guy. He's never had a girlfriend, but he's picked up a whole lot of toxic ideas about relationships. He's a man for our age. But she would not be dissuaded. Sent for Argus. So tell me, what do you think of Devra? Mistress Devra's a sweet-natured lady. Too good-hearted to be an innkeeper sometimes. I had recently begun making the trips with my father when Donal hired him to do the cooking. That was before she married Angus. Poor woman. First Theron, then her husband. Sorry, what, Theron? Theron was a worker here. Mistress Devra took him in. Gave him work, a place to stay, but he was not very bright. Like I said, sometimes Mistress Devra is too kind for her own good. Anyway, Theron was caught in one of those storms. No one has been able to find him since. And there's an Angus involved. Angus was a big man. I cannot see how any harm could befall him without altering the whole inn, without alerting the whole inn. I think perhaps he took a notion to leave, go adventuring. He had a strange sense of humor and a powerful temper. Who knows? Maybe he became angry at Mistress Devra and walked away. And Angus named his son Argus. Argus is Mistress Devra's oldest son, my lord. He inherited more than a little bit of his father's temper. Always dreamed of being a fighter. It was no surprise when he traveled to Monitor to become a pikeman. Not all good came of it, however. He found himself some trouble down there, so I've heard. And there hath been bad blood between him and Wilfred ever since he left here. Tell me about Wilfred. Wilfred is Argus's younger brother. After Argus left, Angus raised Wilfred very strictly, so Wilfred holds Argus in no great esteem. Wilfred was always a willful, snobbish sort of child. In mine own opinion, he needed to have his head knocked a time or two to deflate that ego of his. Childless dude has strong opinions about how easy it should be to control your children with violence. This is a fully realized character. Angus was stricken when Wilfred left us to become a knight. Anyway, so you say that Argus had some trouble? If thou dost not want to answer to Argus's steel, my lord, thou should not mention this to him. Seems Argus's temper found him in a duel with a boy from another command. Argus killed the boy, apparently without giving him any quarter. Sad business for a fighter. And what about Donal? Donal was Angus's father. He was a good, hard-working man. It was a good thing Donal was not anything like his father, Silverpate. Or I doubt that Mistress Devra would have ever given Angus a second look. 'Tis hard to think that Angus disappeared exactly like his grandfather did. Tell me about Silverpate. Why, Silverpate's the one who built this inn. Everyone said Silverpate was a pirate who grew too old for the sea, went searching for a way to become respectable. within 5 years, the Silverpate clan is going to be completely legitimate. He used part of his treasure to construct this place. There are rumors in Moonshade that he hired a mage for some reason, but I have never been able to confirm it. They say he was a very suspicious man. Anyhow, Silverpate disappeared when Donald was still a young man. Everyone thinks the treasure is still hidden here somewhere. Do you think that about the treasure? Do not ask me. Silverpate was a pirate. Who knows what such a man would have hidden? Personally, I think that if there were any treasure, it hath long since been found. And if none hath been found, then there never was any hidden treasure. And then he just disappeared. I should ask Mistress Devra about that. People love to talk about the disappearances of their loved ones. Or their not loved ones, like Silverpate. All I know is that one day no one could find Silverpate, and he was never found. Donald took over the inn, nothing more untoward happened until Theron disappeared. If I say the word connections, even though I don't know why. Although I am not a mage, I am an influential man in Moonshade, because my shop provides the staples of life to that secluded island. Why, I even know the Mage Lord's mistress. If we ever leave this forsaken inn, my lord, perhaps I can attain thee an audience with the Mage Lord himself. He trusts me implicitly. Ask me again when we arrive. And thou mayest find that some of the mages are very reclusive, will not speak to thee without proper introduction. His mistress, you say? Oh, yes. Phil Bercio is quite a ladies' man. And what woman would not jump at the opportunity to win the Mage Lord's favor? You're saying he's an alpha. You think of him as an alpha. For now, Frigidazzi holds the Mage Lord's eye. And from what I have seen, Phil Bercio seems to have found a way to thaw the charms of that cold mage. Her name's a little on the nose. Ask me about her again if we ever sail to Moonshade. I shall relish telling thee more then. I don't know how deep I want to get into the details here with you, buddy. But for now, it only makes me angry with Hawk for stranding me here. All right. Well, it's awfully sweaty in here. Take a shower, man. Okay. Oh, there's Mistress Devra. Hopefully she doesn't mind a complete stranger just coming behind the desk. Pardon me. Good day, my lord. Welcome to Sleeping Bull, my lord. Enter before we suffer another storm. I'm Devra. My son Argus and I are running the inn since Angus disappeared. Devra, the innkeeper. Innkeeper and Argus's mom. She's got a very young Angela Lansbury look. And young Angela Lansbury famously played a dude's mom in The Manchurian Candidate when she was like 3 years older than him or something like that. So yeah, these storms, huh? I've lived here since ever before I was married, and I've never seen anything like these mage-born storms. Why, one caught old man Jotham in his field, changed his plough horse into a goat in front of his eyes. But Jotham was lucky 'twas only his horse. We never did find out what happened to Theron. Oh my. So you think the mages are responsible? If thou shouldst be hit with lightning, normal lightning, mind thee, thou art dead. Plain and simple. They bury thy charred body the next day. But storms that change things and make them disappear or exchange them for something else, well now, seems to me that 'tis magic, right enough. I don't have to be from Moonshade to conjure that answer. So what happened to Theron? Theron was a simple man, not quite right in the head, if thou dost know what I mean. He worked for Angus, and for me nigh on 3 years as a wood chopper, until one of those storms. Angus pulled Theron inside when the storm hit, but Theron ran back out to bring in his favorite axe. Next thing, there was a blinding flash. Theron was gone. You think Moonshade's responsible for this? Fine city. Though 'tis plagued by wizards and mages, the place reeks of sorcery. Hast thou heard anything more of what might be causing these storms? I wonder if anyone has done anything to stop them.
No, I don't have a clue. I think it's probably the Guardian, but we don't need to get into that.
Well, I still think 'tis the work of them mages. No good comes of controlling that type of power, I'll tell thee.
Righto. Oh, good. You're a money changer. We can get some gold coins. Get a room here. Yeah, so your son, Argus. Seems like a nice guy.
Argus is mine oldest boy. He's a captain in the pikemen, or he was, until he came home to take over his father's place. Mine husband always thought that Wilfred, our youngest, would be the one to take the inn, but he hath become too high and mighty to be an honest innkeeper.
Oh, you actually sound kind of disappointed in Wilfred.
Wilfred is a Monitorian knight, my lord. He always was headstrong, and I think his father harried him overmuch. He ran away to be like his brother, only better, he said.
Yeah. Who else disappeared?
Thou dost seem like an honest, hard-working person. Perhaps thou canst help me discover what happened to Angus? 'Tis a right mystery. He disappeared, and then my slippers disappeared.
Oh. We've got... sorry, Shimino, you're going barefoot, buddy. Maybe you can help find my husband, Angus. I'll just go to the info sheet and say... add my newest quests, like free Captain Hawk, warn the Sleeping Bull Tower, and find Angus of the Sleeping Bull. Alright.
Now I've got no husband and a pair of old smelly boots.
Well, I can help with one of your problems for sure.
They were hanging on the line to dry when one of those storms hit. When I went out to gather the wash later, there were these huge boots hanging where my slippers had been. I'll gladly give these things away if only I had my slippers back.
Avatar, those look like thy swamp boots.
If thou hast my slippers, my lord, I will gladly trade thee these boots for them. I have no great fondness for them, other than to keep my feet dry. Here are thy boots, then, and I thank thee for my slippers.
Good deal. Tell me more about the mystery of your husband's disappearance.
On the night Angus disappeared, I'd gone to bed, and Angus had remained to sweep. If thou dost ask me, though, he stayed up to keep an eye on that strange mage that was staying here. I was stirred from a sound sleep by the sound of voices downstairs in the cellar.
Okay. On the night he disappeared, I was awoken by the sound of voices in the cellar. Go on.
After I heard a crash, I went down to look, but I did not see anyone. I thought the mage's companion might have tried to slip down to have another drink for free. I thought no more of it until the morning.
So which one is the strange mage?
He was a rather portly man, Balin, if I remember rightly. He had been here once before. I cannot seem to recall what his name was. He was not the talkative sort, at least not to me.
That doesn't sound like Balin.
Thou couldst ask Ensorcio, they talked quite a bit. Or, I know, thou can look in the registry. 'Tis on the bar.
Good stuff, yeah. What's your read on this Ensorcio?
Thou hast not met the great Ensorcio yet? Count thy blessings. Ensorcio is the smouldering black cloud that sits here day after day, drinking himself into a fit. All he does is glower about those fools in Moonshade, about how those fools in Moonshade threw him out, how he'll avenge himself.
He's talking about the Mages Council, those fools in Moonshade?
Ensorcio is an exiled mage. Who doth know what he did? I'm too afraid to ask.
I don't want to get into it. But it sounded pretty gross.
If he was thrown out by that lot, that against wager could not have been good. Although Angus did not trust mages, he allowed Ensorcio to stay. Angus said that a mage had to have a clear head to cast spells, and we should worry if Ensorcio ever sobered.
So, down in the cellar.
Aye, the cellar. We've had a lout or two think they could slip down, take a bottle or two on the sly. But Angus always seemed to know when they tried it. Threw them out with a few bruises for the trouble. 'Tis why I didn't worry till morn, when I found everything in disarray and Angus gone.
Disarray?
The casks and barrels were strewn all over the floor down there. It looked like there may have been a fight, but I did not see any blood. It took the rest of the day to put all back in order down there, and make sure that nothing was missing. I waited a week or so before I sent word to Wilfred and Argus about their father not returning.
And the mage has a companion? The portly one?
I do not know his name either. He never spoke to anyone other than the mage that I know of. He always walked about with his hood raised, as if he were cold or something. He gave me the shivers.
The shivers?
Has there ever been in a sick room, my lord? A sick room where someone is about to die? There's a tension in the air, a stillness, and that always seemed to hover about the mage's large companion. He was probably one that stole whatever it was from Ensorcio that night, too.
Portly mage probably stole from Ensorcio that night. This session is going to be almost entirely just talking to the people here, which is fine. That's the main gameplay of Ultima in my heart. So he stole something.
I remember that Ensorcio came storming in that morning, much earlier than usual, ranting about something being missing. I'll admit that I was a bit short with him, my lord. After all, I had to put all those barrels back myself, what with Angus gone and all. And that high and mighty mage never offered to lift a finger for anything more than another mug of ale.
Yeah, he sounds like a jerk. Do you change money?
To barter coins, I ask for a small fee of the money exchanged. Dost thou accept?
I guess I have no choice. You got me over the barrel.
What coinage dost thou desire?
Gold coins. And I'll exchange some of my many monetary. Actually, I've got gems.
I can give thee 30 gold coins for every gem thou dost have. Dost thou find the rate acceptable?
Do you mean 30 per or 30 in total? Either way, I don't care. Sure. No, okay, 30 per.
How many gems would thou like to exchange?
Well, I guess I'll just exchange all 14. Why not? What else am I doing with the gems? What if I do want to do something else with the gems? I'll just do 8. 240 gold coins. That's good.
Very well. I will take thy 8 gems, give thee 400 gold coins, subtracting my charge of 8 gold coins, for a final sum of 392 gold coins given to thee. 'Tis done. Dost thou care to exchange more coins? No. Can I let a room from you? The cost is 8 gold coins per person. Wouldst thou like a room for the night? Yes. Room number 3 is available. I'm sure thou would like it. Here's the key. Thy rooms are upstairs. If thou dost need anything, thou shouldst call.
Great. Bye-bye.
Come again soon.
Oh, I shall. I shall. Eventually, we'll warn the Bull Tower. But let's see if we can meet this jerk Ensorcio. And also figure out which one is our room. Oh, good. They've got plates. Room 1. Room 2. Thank goodness they use our numeral system. Room 3. Currently locked. But I bet, with great struggle, we'll be able to get in. Deeply cruel. Oh, wait, here it is. This has got to be it. Please. Nope. Just trying to find a key that is not in line with all the other keys. Might be in my other pouch. Nope, there we go. All right, we're in. Put this key up here to indicate that never need it again, probably. My kingdom for a key ring. Hey, this is a pretty nice room. Enough beds for all of us. How about that? Is there a switch puzzle in this inn? What's... Oh, wow. Complimentary cheese.
Welcome to the Sleeping Bull Inn. Our inn hath been owned by the same family for 4 generations. We have a long tradition of service. We'll do our best to ensure thy stay at the inn will be most enjoyable. If thou hast any questions, please inquire of Mistress Devra or Master Angus. A lantern even. I guess we need to get up in the night to use the chamber pot. Alright. Is Ensorcio up here getting drunk anywhere? Doesn't look like it. Maybe he goes out in the daytime. Or maybe I just missed him downstairs. He shouldn't be back here. But let's go in the cellar and investigate. Should have brought the lantern. But, hold on. Can we just light the torch sconce? Yes, we can. Easel. I should use the brush. I'm not in the mood for that. But we have lots of stuff. A chair. A dead plant. Oh, let's make sure that Shimino has footwear. He does not. But did he get the swamp boots? If he did, he put them in the food bank like a disgusting person. We didn't steal that severed limb off a corpse or anything weird like that. It's just one of the things that our items got exchanged for. Where did I put those boots? Is this another thing where... Is this another thing where she said we were making the exchange, but what that means is actually that my boots have been teleported. Now I can hunt down the boots, like when I got my armor back. Hold on. Dupre, do you have the swamp boots? He's got a pikeman's corpse. Oops. Well, we'll take that guy home and put him to rest soon enough. Does Elo have the boots? Nope. Check one more time in Shimino's bag. Check my own bag again. Mine own bag. Oh, I forgot to return the Helm of Monitor. Well, all in good time. Did I put them in here like a fool? Yes, I did. Enjoy them, Shimino. Meanwhile, let's see if we can find any evidence. Torchlight doesn't travel very far. And there's no torch down here. Curses. Place where we really want to investigate. A broken door. Stairs. But they're just like weird stairs down here. What's this? A sliding door, but it won't slide. Okay. A statue? What's this? A what? Oh no. My headphones are dying. I guess that's okay. I mean, it's frustrating. These things are, I mean, I think they're dying not just in the literal sense of the battery dying, but in the broader sense of I will be needing to buy some new headphones soon. Okay. I don't think Ensorcio is in here. Maybe he is. Oh, wait. I should read the registry. Sleeping Bull Register. Batlin of Fawn and Polos, the manservant of Batlin. Rodolfo of Moonshade. Rishar of Monitor. I should save right now in case this is a game. I don't think this, because this is just in DOSBox. I don't think DOSBox will crash when the headphones die. But I had that problem with the SNES 9X emulator. Certainly if I can avoid the problem happening here. Is this a golden chicken? It's just a chicken. We're not going to kill the cow just to get a bunch of flank steaks off it.
It would be great if the Prince of Shapir was here. He would be a great help to us. He is I, and I am him. What's in here? Dried meat. Well, at any rate, whoever's hut this is, I'm not sure if this is part of the inn. Like, you can get an outdoor suite. Yeah. Well, technically, he mostly relies on prepared meals, but at least he doesn't need them spoon-fed to him. Oh, you know what? Even though the headphones haven't died yet, the sound is gone. Well. Oh, I think that's true, actually. Yes. You folks, you companions, you could learn. You could learn something from our man, the Prince of Shapir. Okay, so where's the tower then? Is it to the north? It's probably outside of the inn fence. Maybe. Well, oh, you know what? We don't have to be silent. Let me just turn these off and start charging them, since I am doing Friday Night Frosthaven on Thursday tonight. And it'll be a much bigger problem if I don't have the headphones then. But then what I can do is just unmute the desktop audio capture. Actually, I think the sound in the game... Hold on. The sound in the game might have died independently. That's fine. We'll be okay. I've only got like a half hour left. Oh, here we are. Is it mealtime yet? I need someone I can... Is there someone here? Who's in charge here? Move along. I would love to move along. Man, it's cramped. You really need this many guys inside this one little fence? Excuse me, sir. Bikeman. Yes. Okay, you. Bikeman. This is the Bull Tower, knave. Excuse me, sir. Would you take a quick look at my cheek? Not only do I have the tattoo of your lands, I did it the hard way, where it was deadly poison that I got tattooed with. This is the Bull Tower, knave. State thy business or be gone. We have no time for idle chit-chat with goblins about. Well, first of all, I've killed every goblin. But okay, let's talk. Tell me about the goblins. Yes, that entire vile race is the scourge of all men of the Serpent Isle. Not the entire race, because I've met goblins that aren't here that are not your scourge. Some of them are nice people. I do understand that the goblins here are horrifying people eaters, so that is different. I'm not trying to say it's okay that they do that. I'm not being a cultural relativist. Moral relativist. Yeah, so you're a pikeman. I'm a knight, as you can see. I received my training on the list fields by the finest knights and trainers in all of Monitor. Now my duty is to protect the traveling citizenry from all manner of harm. Goblins, thieves, the like. Yeah, so this Bull Tower, hopefully this is the warning them. The Bull Tower was erected to protect the people of Sleeping Bull from goblin attack. I dare say, since it was built, they have seldom dared to challenge it. Well, they're about to, but I guess I can't warn you. You want to free Captain Hawk, though? So, thou art a friend of that criminal. His ransom is a mere 100 monetari. We also accept other precious items. I'm not going to pay his fine right now, because I got a lot on the go. But I'll be back, and I'll pay that fine. So keep feeding him, please. Buy the tariff. Shut up. Shut up about your stupid tariff. Okay. Well, I guess there's nothing really to do at the Inn of the Sleeping Bull. Or the Bull Tower. So maybe it's not my job to warn them. But if I could meet Ensorcio the Mage, that would be a good capper here. But this is obviously the minstrel. James, what a pleasure to see thee here. Yeah. Catch you later. Farewell, glee man.
I have heard that thou art in need of finances, shall we say? I believe that I can be of help.
You say I'm in need of finances?
I will simply say that a little birdie told me that thou dost need desperately to sail to Moonshade. Now, with Captain Hawk a prisoner of the Tower Guards, thou must certainly be trying to scrape together a ransom sufficient to sate those greedy ruffians. It is also obvious, if one thinks about it just so.
Yeah, right. So what kind of help are you offering? I actually have the money. I'm just, taking my time. Maybe, I don't think either. Maybe that's Ensorcio. Why would he be hanging out? I don't know. We'll check it. We'll check in a minute. How can you help?
Not long ago, one of those strange storms took the lighthouse that was at the coast north and east of here. In its place is a strange building, locked tight and reportedly filled with hideous monsters and great treasure. One, I thought of as my beloved, found a key on a creature outside the building. He gave this key to me for certain favors and promised to meet me here so we could seek the treasure together.
Did you really love him?
He is not here, shows no sign of keeping his word, men. I feel terrible, for this time I had given away my own heart, and now 'tis broken.
Yeah, can I have the key?
If thou art willing to allow me to join thee, I can lead thee to treasure enough for both of us. I have the key and the instructions, but I'm no match for what may lie ahead. Wilt thou join me in seeking the treasure?
I'm going to say no for now.
I thought thou wouldst be interested. Oh well, 'tis his loss for buying my favors so cheaply, and thy loss for not joining me. But I will not hold it against thee, James. If thou art still here and in need of money when I return, perhaps I would lend thee some.
Okay, wait. Can I change my mind? Or was that a one shot? No, okay. Yeah, we can still go through that. But wait, what did you say about the fur cap when I asked you? It's just too small for me. So maybe it's a child's cap. And you didn't have anything to say about the Stoneheart. Yeah. But Ensorcio might. Okay. Hang tight. For now. We'll go on this adventure, Selina. Greetings. Well, if it isn't another petty tyrant.
Thou mayest as well leave now, pikeman. I have no use for the likes of thee. And thou canst do nothing to avenge the wrongs I have suffered.
Wait. This is not how I said these people would talk.
And thou canst do nothing to avenge the wrongs I have suffered. So leave thou, before I grow tired of thee, and thou dost feel the wrath of Ensorcio the Adeptor.
You think I'm a tyrant?
Yes, tyrant.
I can't do it. It's just not working right now.
And I shall say it in front of Argus too, for all that matters. You pikemen wear your bravery marked on your faces for all to see, and expect the world to tremble at your feet. Thou demandest tribute like a king, and all thou art worthy of is contempt.
Thou dost not speak to an ordinary pikeman, interjects Dupre, a bro looking out for me. This is the Avatar. Thou mayest not judge the Avatar by this mark alone, says Shimino.
Do not let him say such things about the Avatar,
says Elo.
I see thee draw thyself up. Have I offended thee?
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
And what wilt thou do, pikeman? Drag me to thy jail as thy comrades did drag Hawk?
No? You like Hawk?
Hawk is the captain of the Arabella. I am afraid that Flindo was a good bit distressed to hear that the good captain has no intention of risking himself or his ship to take that upstanding merchant back to Moonshade in these damnable storms. So he bought the muscle of the pikemen to persuade Hawk that remaining here would be unhealthy.
So you're from Moonshade, huh? You fucking creep.
Moonshade, the city of wonders, and the city of charlatans. Heaven forfend thou shouldst try something innovative.
I hate you, Ensorcio.
Might endanger the incompetent fools led by Fabercio and his trained council of mages.
There we go. So you're not a fan of Fabercio?
Fabercio is a presumptuous maggot who calls himself Mage Lord of Moonshade. I doubt he could light a candle magically, but he doth have the backing of the council and the threat of the mountains of freedom to support his claim. The one saving grace for Moonshade is that Fabercio spends all his time pursuing skirts. His insignificant knowledge of magic hath little effect in the bedchambers of his conquests.
You're not supposed to make First of all, it's not healthy to begin with to think of love, to think of courtship in these terms of a conquest. But also, you're not supposed to use your magic for that. That's why. Anyway, I'm not gonna win this guy over. Give me a keyword for enthusiastic consent. So you're not a fan of the council?
The Council of Mages is a handful of adepts are meant to keep the Mage Lord from using his power. In this case, however, they spend their time making their decisions that the Mage Lord should be making. But, as unto myself, they are content to allow Fabercio to pursue his amusements. With luck, he'll be killed by one of his paramours.
So why do they call them the Mountains of Freedom? Because they sound bad.
Freedom. What a farce. The Mountains of Freedom are a prison, hero. A prison filled with magical traps that none can escape. And that is where Fabercio puts all who anger or oppose him. 'Tis small wonder that I did not end there.
I kind of think you should have. You piece of shit. So, did you cause these storms?
Rather showy, if thou shouldst ask me, but rather spectacular results, entirely too random for my tastes, however. Of course, I cannot help wondering which mage is behind them, and I wonder if that double-crossing Batlin has anything to do with them. The storm started after he left here, thou knowest.
So you know Batlin, huh?
I can see thou knowest of him. Batlin came here some time ago, him and his dame a demon. He seemed to take an interest in my story, and we spent many evenings exchanging arcane lore. Then he left on some errand. When he returned with his 2 thugs, Batlin seemed restless, but we continued our discussions as if nothing had changed. I thought he was my friend.
Well, I mean, he is the kind of guy who would be friends with a piece of shit like you. He said he had a demon with him, like a gargoyle?
Absolutely huge and ugly. Batlin called him Palos, and the demon went about as meekly hooded and robed as his master commanded. I do admit I was impressed. I could not help but think about the trouble that Roteluncia was having.
Roteluncia?
Ever since Fabercio replaced Roteluncia as his playmate, Roteluncia hath had to find some other interest to occupy her time, and from what I have heard, that seems to be demons. Perhaps I can hope that she doth have her designs on her revenge. I would be content to think of Fabercio filling a daemon's belly. So I'm quite sure she would take quite an interest in that fat mage's pet demon. I wish I could send a word.
And he had more thugs, you say?
I should have guessed that Batlin intended something shady when I saw those 2. I am sure Batlin brought them expressly to steal the old jawbone left to me by my mentor.
Ensorcio. Let's start taking some notes. Rapist. That's all you are to me, you piece of shit. So, Batlin and his thugs surely stole the old jawbone. I'm not sure about that. Do I have a jawbone? Is that one of my weird things?
Between a brunt the idiot and Deadeye the one-eyed pirate, I am lucky to still be alive.
Jawbone, you say?
'Twas a large serpent jawbone that my mentor received from his mentor, the mad mage. I could never discover what its use was, though 'twas clearly magical. 'Twas a keepsake, though I hope to discover its secret some day. I think that Batlin found its secret and created these damned storms.
Okay, I guess I don't. The jawbone is not one of my things. The mad mage, you say? Doesn't sound like a on the level guy.
His true name is Erstum. He taught many of the Munchadian adepts of the craft. But, as is the way with the master and apprentice, they eventually surpassed him in skill and scope. The old mage could not abide the thought that these mages were no longer his malleable students, and went quite mad. He saw them all as thieves intent on stealing his secrets and moved to an island off a moonshade. He doth refuse to have any dealings with moonshade to this day. He sits on his island, trying to find a way to create life.
And then your mentor?
He was a very great man. His name was Vasculio. Unfortunately, Vasculio was a man that was constantly testing the limits of a convention. The Council of Mages found him threatening, and attempted to kill him when he refused to bow to their wishes. But his experimentation with Stoneheart had given him spells to elude even that monstrous fate. He is out there somewhere still, straining at the chains of accepted wisdom.
Yeah, this Stoneheart, I've heard of this.
Ah, such a wonder to behold. It doth come from the depths of the mountains of freedom, and is quite rare.
Someone already told me that detail, but I should put that down. Okay.
Whoops, the council something, but a small quantity is quietly hidden.
Stupinski, hail! Not literally right at the end. I got like 20 minutes or so left available to me.
Else how would the death spells work? Thou dost have a Stoneheart. Could I, No. I shall not succumb to its lure. I shall be strong. But thou shouldst take care, for this reagent is a way of twisting a man's heart so he cannot bear to part from it. In its raw form, 'tis useless for spells. For a fee, sizable, of course, I could teach thee its secrets, so thou mayest also cast death spells.
No, I'm not interested in that. What's your read on Flindo?
Flindo would have it that he's a person of note from the fair city of Moonshade, known by one and all, but he is truly little more than a loud shopkeeper with a penchant for gossip. Flindo flits about here and there, acquiring merchandise for Butchia to sell, and as much information as he can. I think that alone is why the adepts humor him from time to time with some tidbit of news.
Who's this Butchia?
Butchia runs Flindo's shop for him. It is called the Capesi Canton, a pompous name if thou dost ask me. Butchia charges a fillip more on everything she sells for her troubles, and is very careful to show Flindo the altered accounts.
Ho ho ho. Well, let's change the subject.
As thou dost wish.
You have some grievances?
Thou dost not know the half of it. Here I sit, an adept in a wretched hovel, exiled from the practice of the magic that is of my life's blood. The council hath turned its back on Filbertio's exploits for so long they sought to make me their scapegoat, their public example.
They made an example of you, huh?
Filbertio hath opted from bed to bed throughout the city, using every means of coercion possible. But let it be found that poor Ensorcio used magic to catch the favor of an adept's daughter, and suddenly I am an unspeakable monster.
Well, I'm not so. I mean, if this Filbertio is also if he's a serial rapist, that's bad. But that doesn't make what I just did one rape and I'm bad. You're bad, man. There's a very low quota on the number of rapes you can do and still be okay. The maximum is 0.
Thou canst not know what humiliation is until thou hast been turned out from thine home and told to never return on pain of death. Thou canst not know the burning shame to hear that thy wrongdoing hath been proclaimed to all. To know that wherever thou goest, people will say, "Isn't Ensorcio that exiled mage from Moonshade?" You should be grateful if that's all they're saying. But you think that Filbercio is also into coercion? The least that I have heard of is a blackmail. Who knows of what other means Filbercio will stoop to fulfill his lusts? But I have no details, for I try not to listen to such stories, as they nearly always send me into a near murderous fit. Thou shalt have to seek thine information elsewhere. And then you and the adept's daughter, so you're not even like trying to, you don't have a like alibi, or you're not even going to deny it? Oh no, thou shalt not have her name to drag it through the mud alongside Ensorcio. Never. I cared enough for her to spend my magics upon her, hoping that she would come to care for me. I will not have thee blacken her name for all that's been done to me. I'm not trying to blacken her name. You've got some real gross ideals, Ensorcio. What do you think of Devra here? Devra is a fine woman, for all that. She is a bit domineering. But then most women are they not? I hate you. I hate you, man. I got the virtue of honesty, so I have to let you know. She hath taken her loss incredibly well. She hath convinced that worthless son of hers to return and help her with some honest work here at the inn. But if thou askest me, I would say she is too kind to the rogues and the misfits. You mean like the magic rapist, Ensorcio? Is that a person that she's too kind to? You friggin' piece of shit. So you don't like Argus, huh? For all that he is Devra's son, he's still a dog. I will grant thee he came home when Devra summoned him, unlike Wilfred. But the two are cut from the same cloth all the same. Vain, pompous braggarts. That was not at all the read that I got on Argus when I spoke to him, and also, as you yourself just acknowledged, he came back to help his mom, who doesn't even like him. What do you think of Wilfred? Wilfred is Devra's youngest whelp, and I'll wager thou wilt never find a better example of the attitude of which I speak. He's a fine one to talk of attitude, interjects Elo, and that's a fair point, Elo. Wilfred ran away to prove to the world he was better than his brother. A better bully, a better ruffian, and a better murderer thou shalt not find. I want to say the word tribute to you. Find out how you react. Or perhaps I should say donation. Where's the honor in charging even the poorest peasant a ruinous fee to use the only safer road in all the islands? So much for protecting the weak and helping the poor. Alright, listen. Having the good politics doesn't make the magic rape okay. Quite pathetic, actually. When I reported the theft to her that morning, she was too distraught to even pay attention to my complaint. Not at all professional. After all, I'm a paying guest here. Her husband had disappeared. It seems Angus had a bit of silver pate in him after all, and disappeared. To think of it, perhaps he was the one that stole the jawbone from me. The why it would interest him I shall never know. What was your read on Angus? Angus was Devra's husband. Seemed a right enough fellow, liked a cup or two of ale in the evenings, worked hard. But then, with her nagging, he couldn't help but work hard. Would have never guessed that he had the spine to leave her like that. But I suppose that every man doth have his breaking point. What about, if you heard the tales of Silverpate? Where do you think his treasure is? Silverpate is the great-grandfather of Angus. I thought he's the great-grandfather of Argus. They say that the old Silverpate was a bloodthirsty pirate. According to popular tales, he reformed and took his ill-gotten gains and built this inn. But the adepts in Moonshade tell a different tale. Let's have it. It seems that Silverpate employed Erstim to do something at the inn. Perhaps hide the fabled treasure, who knows. In any case, the pirate planned to trick Erstim so that he would not have to pay the mage's fees. But Erstim found him out and trapped the treacherous innkeeper in a pit filled with the demons. No one ever saw Silverpate again, and people learn to fear crossing any mage. They say the mage Erstum was betrayed by Silverpate and cast him into a pit of demons. That's serious stuff. Well, it wasn't nice to meet you. Buenos noches, or whatever. That's... Anyway. Forgive me. Okay, so probably the treasure is hidden in the inn, and some combination of the switch panels upstairs and the basement are how I can find it. I don't have much time left. Do I want to keep messing around at the inn, or do I want to run back to Monitor, see if returning the Helm of Monitor makes me a great hero? Greater than I already am. Yeah. Other doors are going to be locked for now anyway, so if there's a switch puzzle here, I can't just do it right now. I mean, maybe we can pick the locks, but we've also just met these folks. We shouldn't be ruining their inn just yet. Okay. Well, got the swamp boots back. Got a lead on, for example, something of mine sounds like it's in the Mountains of Freedom. Oh no. Fur hat. Feels like that'll be, a child in the north. Could take the hat. Wonder what happened to the sound. I mean, obviously now, it's just not coming out because I don't have headphones anymore because the battery died. But it stopped beforehand. Yes, please operate the gate. Okay. If I go to the I'm going to go to the jail and see if they've imprisoned those scalawags. They have. And they have not cleaned... Oh, we have a body to lay to its rest. Greetings, sir. What? Didst thou come to ask me why I did betray my city? Ha! Any idiot can say the reason. With the current emotional and spiritual state of the city, the goblins are certain to win this war against us. I actually killed them all, including their king. The foolish bears and the cowardly wolves are weakening us. They needed to be turned against each other so that the leopard command could assume their rightful leadership of Monitor. I had even devised a secret weapon to defend the city without the bears or wolves. So you think the bears are foolish? The bear command would have hibernated safe within the walls of the city. I would never have seen the danger until the goblin hordes were climbing over our walls. And the cowardly wolves? The wolf command would have never remained here this long. They would have pulled up their stakes and gone roaming the day we had to fight to keep this place. Once on the run, they would have been cut down like dogs. What's your secret weapon? I had learned of a weapon unlike any that had ever been seen in this world. A substance that could change the face of war forever. The substance I would have used is well hidden, and thou shalt never find it. Ha! Well, have fun being in jail forever. Good day. Where's Spektor? Oh, there he is. Don't hide from me. Not thee. Very well. I've been found out. There's no point in denying my guilt any longer. It was I who stole the money from the treasury. I was in league with Lord Marsten, who schemed to become the king of Monitor. The bears and the wolves would have been powerless. Gantra's father stumbled into our secret cave, so he had to be killed. If the secret of the explosive weapons had been revealed, Marsten would have killed me. Alright. In some cave, they have a lair with explosive weapons, which sound useless to us. In the chaos of these auto battles, I don't think you want... Go encourage, he says. You don't get to use those words anymore. To the crematory. Oops. Which is... Oh, yeah. Down this way.
Hey. Sword of Defense. Why is that there? I'll let Elo use the crossbow for now. So actually, Shimino, put the magic sling away. And put the two-handed sword away. Or the two-handed hammer. And try out this cool new sword we got. Where is it? Never mind. Oh, Elo will use that. Okay. Sorry, Shimino. Getting you all confused. Elo has decided to use those things, so you are going to go back to your magic sling / two-handed hammer combo. Where's the magic sling, though? There. Perfect. All right, sweet. Don't know why that happened, but I'm grateful. Let's go up here, being very careful. Dupre. Sorry, your back must be killing you. But let's send this poor guy home. Sorry, Shimino. As always, I never mean to speak to you. Is Renfrey not even here? Well, he sure better acknowledge that I did that and pay me when the time comes. Oh man, Renfrey lives in the crematorium and his bedroom is just like a few feet away. That's rough. What's going on? What time is it? 6:44 p.m. Probably they're not even working at the town hall anymore. But let's see. Maybe they're there. I guess I could probably catch them at the bar. Yeah. Wait. Someone's working here. Is it Kaladin? So 'tis thee again. Well met. How shall I aid thee? Well, you want to congratulate me for bringing home the Helm of Monitor? Thou hast recovered the Helm of Monitor and proven thyself to be our champion knight. Thou art the best of us, the standard by which we shall all be measured. You know, they tell me that everywhere I go. Remember, if thou shouldst leave our city, let us carry our honor with thee. It is thy duty not only serve Monitor, but to help restore the balance of the world. This is the mission of the champion knight. All right, yeah, I'll do that. So how about Simon, huh? Killed him real good. So, Simon was a goblin in disguise. 'Twas a clever bit of deduction on thy part to uncover his secret. I guess. Well, thanks, Kaladin. Are you the Lord now? No. This is just his old dialogue. Alright. Later, buddy. I mean, maybe the wolves are in charge. In tribute to the fact that I saved the day. Okay, we've returned the Helm of Monitor. I've got 6 training points. 6. We have 24 total training points. There's absolutely no way we can afford all that training. Let's go to the pub and see if we... Hey, Renfrey. Can you smell the crematorium smoke in the air? No. This is the tavern. Yep. Is Renfrey here? Is this our boy? Our fella?
What? What? Oh, 'tis thee again. You gonna pay up? Well, I serviced a monitor in the community of knights. I shall pay thee for the trouble. Thank thee for cremating that once proud warrior. Take care. What? Oh, goodbye. Hard of hearing he is. So we meet again, James. Yeah, did you hear that I returned the wolf of the helm of Monitor? As thou hast won back the helm of Monitor, thou art truly deserving the title of champion knight of Monitor. I salute thee. Salute. Hold on. Do I get to keep the helmet? Because if so, okay. I guess the helmet is probably even better defensively than this ill-fitting fur hat. It makes me look ridiculous. Okay. Hey, and I'm out of time. Well, that was a very focused session. I'm going to make an active save. And since I'm probably going to be exploring other parts of the continent next time, and my understanding is there's one huge game-breaking bug if I accidentally find a house full of ghosts that I'm not supposed to find yet. I will put another reversion save. But the main prerogative, I think, next time should be to I'm going to get some training before we leave, and then take the boys back to the Sleeping Bull and tell Selina that we'll go with her to that tower and see if all the training paid off and if we can get some more stuff, get a little bit closer to being properly equipped, all that good stuff. Yeah. And then obviously, at some point we got to go to Moonshade, and we have the money already to pay the ransom. So I guess that'll be next on the agenda. There's probably more to do in Fawn. There's probably more to do in Monitor. There's probably more to do with the Sleeping Bull. There's lots to do. That's just how Ultima works. So yeah, this one is obvious. So far it feels even more, like much more story driven even than the Black Gate. But so far it's also doing a pretty good job of not being that linear. Like I'm sure that there is like I have to do A, B, and C before I can do D, E, and F. Like that kind of thing. But I'm doing the legwork to find out what A, B, and C or D, E, and F, etc. are. So that's something at least. Cool. Well, this was fun. Good time. I'm wrapping up right on time to run Danielle over to her physio. So that all worked out. Check it out. I'll be back tonight for Friday Night Frosthaven on Thursday. An outpost phase where we will find out the next leg of Rich's Pain Conduit personal quest. And, at long last, retire the Drifter. So Greg's very excited about that. He's going to get to be the unfettered hive next time we get to a scenario. And he's been waiting a long time. So that's great. That's good news for Greg. Tomorrow, I had hoped to do 2 Ultima 7 Part 2 Serpent Isle streams this week, but I'm not going to have time for a big session. And I'm finding this guy, like, I want to keep playing this right now. So I'm not going to try that risk again. I'll go back to Wizardry Gaiden 4, Throb of the Demon's Heart tomorrow for a bit in the afternoon. That's very exciting because we cleared the part of the Ancient Cave yesterday when I was playing. I got past the part of the Ancient Cave that is just the first 4 levels of the original Wizardry dungeon. And then, lo and behold, the floors revealed after it. There's only 3 floors revealed to me so far, but I bet there's at least 1 more. Probably 4 more floors at least. When we got down to those, we started playing wizardry, like big, tough enemies that you can't kill in a single hit even, enemies with more powerful spells, enemies that, like swarms of vampires. We haven't got hit by a vampire yet, thank goodness, but vampires and wights, so I feel like there's probably some level draining on the table now. And I went to all 3 of the available floors,
and they actually get tougher and tougher even as we go down. So that's exciting. There's a crazy puzzle on the 5th floor, like the first of the new floors, that I beat my head against a bunch and took some weird notes on. What do they all mean? And I stared at my notes a bunch, and I came to the conclusion that there must be a clue somewhere. There just has to be, because I can't make any sense of what's going on. Even if I think I understand the goal of the puzzle, I have no clue, no sweet clue about how to get there. But we did get the clue that it's related to a mandala, so hopefully there's literally just like a mandala that we'll find down on level 6 or 7 that somehow provides a clue. I think I probably need to also make note, because I don't need to talk that much about this puzzle right now. We're going to put a pin in it and keep on doing perilous dungeon delving where we could die at any moment. So that's exciting. And then it's another double header as I wind down my vacation, because Danielle and I tomorrow evening, because there's no Friday Night Frosthaven, are going to debut, hey babe, can we play this game? A couple stream where I pick a game that I want Danielle to try. We try it out. And we, play it and talk about it. We get a non-gamer's perspective alongside my perspective. We're starting with a visual novel called The Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. So look forward to that. That should be cool. On Saturday, Dark Sun, Shattered Lands. It's coming to a head. If I don't beat the game this Saturday, I think I'll beat it the Saturday after. So we're getting real close to the final showdown with Draj. I can tell. The characters are getting very powerful, nearing the level caps. We're having a great time. Real good time. Real lots of fun. It's great. And then on Sunday, finally, we'll start Sweet Home. Ooh, the Capcom Adventure RPG Survival Horror Classic that presaged their later, much more famous PlayStation game, Resident Evil, or Biohazard, if you prefer the original Japanese title. Then next week, I've got 2 days of vacation left, where I'm hoping that I'll beat Wizardry Gaiden 4, Throb of the Demon's Heart, or at least get very close. On Tuesday, Greg will be here for Greg and James Beat 'em Up. And then, well, I'm back to work, but there's no classes running. So we'll still be getting next Thursday, maybe starting a little later, but we'll still be playing Ultima 7 Part 2, Serpent Dial. Maybe even when my vacation's over, I'll be able to do it more because I'll get Wizardry Gaiden 4 off the plate. Yeah, that's it. That's where we've been. That's what we're doing. Where we're going. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, can't hear my voice, but I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. Until the next time, when we're just having a lot of long conversations with everyone we meet, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.